You already know what it is. Come on. Yeah. Woo.
The hottest hits.
Hot 106.
All right, Mike D, Hot Morning Show here with an absolute legend in the music industry. Now, then, forever. Chanderpaul, man. Welcome in.
What's up, Mikey? Good, man.
Appreciate you, bro. It's been a few years since we chatted.
Yes, sir.
But you've had a lot going on. We've had a pandemic in between.
Yeah.
It's been quite some time, but you're performing tonight in the city right here in Providence, and
Yes,
every time you come, you always shut it down.
It's a beautiful space, a beautiful place, you know what I mean? Providence always give me a great vibe. A lot of ladies always come out, so I said I'm coming back.
Well, you make music for the ladies.
Well,
Spanning decades now.
especially for the ladies.
Especially for the ladies.
everybody, but yeah.
Love that, man. Well, this week, though, was exciting. You were on the Kelly Clarkson show. I was watching that clip, and you were on there with Kenan Thompson, and I was surprised. You've only been on SNL one time.
Yeah, once. It was cool.
I found that interesting because of how many hits over the years that you've had. Yeah. But then I was looking back. Has acting or like performing on a skit show like that ever been something you've thought about doing or have ever wanted to try?
It's funny, bro. That was the first time I was ever invited on a couch. I've been on many different shows just to perform. But Kelly was like, I want to talk to this dude. She gave me a few minutes. So that was pretty special for me. We do interviews all the time on the radio.
Right.
And you know my personality. I'm good with it. But I don't know. Something about the way I look maybe just frightens people.
Come on. That's crazy. You see some of the people they put on TV these days?
I'm saying. So I don't know. It's my first time on the couch, man. So it was a cool thing, you know.
And that must have been really special for you because obviously Kelly is super, influential and is a massive star in the music world as herself. And you guys bonded on different genres of music that she was surprised to hear that you listened to.
Yeah. As I said on the show, in Jamaica, we listen to many different things. And it's not uncommon for, a couple different selectors or DJs to be playing in the dance. And because someone played something, the most popular song in Jamaica like 4 times already, the next guy comes up, he's like, you know what? And he makes a big speech, and then he just puts on Celine Dion. And everybody's like, whoa. So it's crazy.
Was it the Titanic song? Or?
It's something like that.
Everybody just starts, posing like Jack and Rose.
So what I'm saying is we appreciate music. And, when people like Kenny Rogers did come, it was for Jazz Festival. Everybody turned out, sang The Gambler. We're going to sing out The Gambler, right?
All the classics.
Exactly. And, so she's more pop to me now, but like I think she started out as a country western.
That seems to be a trend.
Yeah, more. She's pop country western, I guess, but she got an amazing voice, and I was glad to meet her, man.
Yeah, it was really dope to see. It's always interesting for us as music fans to see two massive artists that have paved their own way for so many years, kind of collaborate in an interview. And like you said, it was your first time on the couch. It's crazy to me because you feel like for how long you've been in the game, more people would want to pick your mind.
I don't know. It's the first time, so yeah.
Well,
maybe it's a start.
It's a start, but one thing we know for sure is people appreciate your music all over the world. The Spotify Wrap just came out. The numbers for you were insane. Yeah, billions of streams. When you see that, does that ever get, I don't want to say old, but is it still hard to wrap your head around how many people literally all over the world are listening to you on a daily basis that much?
Yeah, especially when I wake up and kids are like, Dad. And I'm like, yo, all right, that's my life now. And then I go on the road and there's a different feeling, So it's a balance of, and I need that balance of being the dad. That's probably how, things like that help me to last long. It help me to recharge my battery instead of just keep doing this thing big all the time. So, I interchange my brain on that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it does feel surreal to know so many numbers and so many people listening to the projects I'm doing. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's, as a fan, it's incredible to see how you continue to almost change yourself, right? You're adapting with the times instead of kind of sticking to what was, new to us 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You're adapting the new track, Dem Time There with Manuel Turizo, which, he's a Colombian artist, reggaeton. super fire track. Tell me how that came about and, you know, how you made that collaboration happen.
For ever since early 2000s, I've had a lot of Latin fans who've been like, yo, we love your music. And I decided to bridge the gap and do some songs over in Spanish, which was like Punky in Espanol. Hold My Hand was another one over the years. And then I started, you know, getting calls from Enrique Iglesias and Into the Zona and stuff like that a couple years after. And I decided, like, let me dive deep. So last year, I went to the studio and I called a lot of people and was like, yo, come check me. Let's work. One of them was Fade, which I did work with earlier this year. He's from Colombia also. It was a big song. Also, Karol G had me on her record earlier this year, and she's like the most sold out Latin
She sold out Gillette Stadium down the street. It was crazy. I had people
Right.
hit me up from all over. You know, I haven't talked to them in 10 years. Like, yo, you got Karol G tickets? I'm like, yeah, man. How are you? How are your kids? I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, she does that. And so yeah, big song with her. Danny Ocean was earlier this year as well. So it seems like me and the Colombians kind of logged on, and this is the last installment of it with Manuel. And you know, I did the work last year December, and we just took a lot of time to, you know, release. Most of these songs were other people's own, but this one with me and Manuel is actually mine, you know, as a single. So
Yeah, and I like the story behind it too. It was kind of because them time that translates to that time, like back then.
Yeah, those days.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's pretty cool because he kind of wanted to recreate your sound and add a reggaeton kind of Latin twist to it.
Yes.
And that's exactly how it comes off. You know, how much influence from him as a young artist do you take on as well from him?
Oh man, yeah, I had to learn 3 lines in Spanish in the in the intro, and I was like, man, I had to keep on pronouncing it back because you know what, you know, each little territory in Latin America, they say things a little differently. You know, it's like broken English or the patois that we speak, and sometimes the words are all like mixed together, and it doesn't, how you say it doesn't sound like how it's written to me. So you know, me as a English-speaking Caribbean kid, I just had to dig deep with that. But the rhythm itself was something that we both agreed on sounded like then and now. You know, whenever someone meets me from, you know, a younger generation of artists, they always give me these accolades and whatnot. And it was like, yo, I was a kid when, you know, in those times. And I was like, when they asked me what do you want to call the single when we finish, I said, let's call it Them Time Day.
Yeah.
Which was...
It's fitting.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people can't understand why I'm going at this, and I said it on the Kelly Show. You know, we're such close proximity to these countries. And I've been to Panama so many times, which is like a bridge from reggae, from dancehall music to reggaeton. And, you know, I got so much love there, and I just want to show the people back some good love and good music, you know what I mean?
And I think that's where some people get confused too, because reggaeton stems from reggae. It's kind of a different branch of it.
It is.
I mean, it's in the name. You should be able to figure it out, but sometimes it comes off as, well, no, this is Latin music. It can't be reggae, you know?
I like to say reggae is the dad, hip-hop's the big brother, dancehall is the younger, spicy brother.
Yeah.
And then we got cousins, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you never know what you're going to get from the cousins.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you know, reggaeton and also Afrobeats very familiar to what we sound like, what we do. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It's instead of being like, yo, they're coming to take our spot, which is a lot what happens to our psyche. Like, oh man, there's less people being played on the radio that are from Jamaica because this other music that sounds like us is well, let's blend it. Let's get together. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like we could do it, and it works, man. So.
And you're like the poster person for dancehall, because you do things where you collaborate with different, you know, the reggaeton, but also you'll release like a hardcore dancehall. You know, we are connecting with artists that maybe are a little bit lesser known here in the United States.
Yeah.
But you never forget kind of that where your beginnings were from.
Sure. I mean, when I was a kid, when I was younger as an artist, I wanted to, you know, I wish somebody would pick me up in the wings and be like, yo, this dude's dope. And I kind of did it all myself in Jamaica because a lot of people at first they just kind of watched me. Not like they didn't believe in me, but they were like, let's see how this dude going to hit the ball now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when I knocked it out the park, it was a different story. And so I just want to lend a helping hand to people who I think are dope. They inspire me. Like a kid named Massacre just came out with an album last week, and a lot of people in our genre are like really playing it and really logging onto it. I've been talking about this kid for quite some time. He's on the album I did called Live and Living during the pandemic, with a song called Everest with me and Skilly Bang. And so, I just try to give whoever that chance. I mean, he has his own following right now. He's huge. But me speaking about him and doing work with him can get other people to kind of log in on that. I was just on the Jamrock cruise, which is
I saw that.
Yeah, with the Marley's cruise with Junior Gang, and there's a girl who's come from like some part of Europe. Forgive me, I don't remember which country she comes from, but I've seen her in Jamaica often. She goes to the dances, she does the dances and stuff, and she came on the stage for the exercise program that they got going on the boat in the day, and she was like, "Yo, the first song I heard was Get Busy. It was Like Glue, and then the biggest album for me was Trinity, and that's how I know dancehall. And now Sean's performing on the stage tonight, so." From me doing, like, getting people like her from an Eastern Bloc country to, like, notice what I was doing, and then now she knows everybody else in the business.
Right.
And that's kind of like me collabing with people and whatever, it helps it out, you know what I mean?
It's an amazing to see, and just how like the generations that it spans across. Because you go on TikTok, I like watching your reaction videos sometimes to people singing along to your music.
Yeah.
And sometimes they make up their own words.
Yeah,
that must be pretty, because sometimes it's like really young people, so people
Yeah.
that didn't grow up listening to your music, they're being introduced to it now.
Yes, and the dances are crazy, and sometimes the lyrics are nuts, but it's like it makes me laugh because I remember times when I wasn't sure how long this was gonna last, man.
Right.
No, and the general rule is you get your 15 minutes of fame. So I have nothing but thanks to give, especially with those videos. Like most of my reactions is just like laughing my head off. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
It's funny to see because I'm definitely one of those people. You know what I mean? Like I think that I know what I'm saying, but I'm like maybe I don't. It doesn't matter though, because it's just the vibe that you get is always been the best. And a couple more things here. It went viral last year, but I wanted to ask you about it. Chanderpaul, right? Mm-hmm. Cricket player.
Yep.
Stemmed to becoming your nickname, or became like kind of like a joke in a way.
Yeah, he probably hates me now.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because I'll tell you one thing. I would have never known who a cricket player from
Guyana.
Yeah. I would have never known who he was if it wasn't for you.
See?
So maybe he's been selling some merch. You might have to look that up, man. You might need some royalties or something.
Yeah, but he was just huge on like back in those days when I was, them time there, when I was just coming up and stuff, and we were doing a lot of freestyling, and we had not much songs out, me and the crew, and his name was on the radio every day for and TV for cricket. So when the dude was freestyling and passed the mic to me and said, "Yo, who's next, Chanderpaul?" It was just funny. Everybody laughed, and it just stuck. So it wasn't something I planned. I was like, I'm going to be called that, but it is one of those things. It's just as with street slang or ebonics or something, it evolves sometimes. And big up to him. I met him once. No, I think 2 times.
Was he grilling you? Was he like, "What's up, man?"
He was like, "Yo, what's up?" And it was really cool to meet him and to know that he's heard of it and he found it funny. Yeah.
So would you say cricket is your favorite sport, or is it something else?
It was something that I played as a kid very much. But over the years, like, I did a lot of different things. In Jamaica, we play cricket, we play football, which is soccer here. And there's, of course, track and field became very dominant. But there's a small sport called swimming and water polo, which I represented my country for.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I went to, Junior Pan Am games. I went to Carifta games, which is similar thing for people under 19 years old. And, the whole Caribbean gets together and do it. So That was my sporting background. My whole family swam. My mom, my dad, they taught swimming during summertime. My brother and me played water polo for the country. So that's my real sport, you know.
And if you ever wanted to know where Chanderpaul got his lung strength from, it's being able to tread water while throwing a ball and swimming around and playing defense. Yeah, because that's crazy.
It's exactly true.
That's absolutely sure. Amazing. And you mentioned football. You were a big fan of. Do you have a favorite club?
No, not really.
Not really. Just enjoy the game.
Yeah.
It was a very important question to me coming up next, though.
Okay.
Ronaldo or Messi?
Oh man, that's a
hard
one.
I know. I gotta ask the hard question, bro.
That is.
Keep in mind, I'm of Portuguese descent.
Myself and I rate Ronaldo the longest time. You know, even before I was hearing about Messi. But then my son came up, and my son is like, Messi.
Oh man, come on, man.
And you know, I rate the both of them. I really do.
Of course.
But my biggest baller from longest time is Diego Maradona. I know he was controversial and all of that, but the magic he gave me in 1985 when I was a little dude watching him, it was amazing. Him and Pele to me were the greats, and you know, so now it's Messi and our boy, but yeah, you know, I don't tend to follow just one team. For me, I follow greatness, and who is out there doing special things is someone who I would watch a lot. So I don't want to say Messi fully.
I'll take that. Listen, that's a win. That's a win for me. All right, because I appreciate it, and of course, it was incredible what Messi's been able to do, especially in the past year.
Yeah, for sure.
In the influence he has. But man, I want to wrap it up with this because I love the quote you put on Instagram when you were talking to Kelly Clarkson. You said, "We don't speak the language, but we do speak music."
Yeah.
And your language of music that you speak doesn't matter if people don't even speak English or anything. They understand it and they feel it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful message.
Yeah, man. I think it's supposed to bring people together. Just to produce the music, you got to get together, you know. There are special producers who do it all themselves and sing it all themselves and whatnot. But it took thousands of years for us to get to that point. You know, somebody had to play the drums, somebody had to play the bass, and somebody writing the stuff. And, you know, it came from all of those years of the classical music straight through. So for me, it's just it's a simple thing. It brings people together, and no matter what it is in life that happens, there's always a song for it. You know what I mean? If you want to be in the club, if you want to be in the gym, if you want to just being with friends, singing, girls just want to have fun. There's no girls in the room. You know, it's a language of love, I guess. Music for me. Yeah.
That's an incredible message, man, and you've been giving that language for many years and for many more years to come. It's been incredible to talk to you, Chanderpaul. It's always a pleasure when the legend is in town, man, in Providence. Talk to you again soon, bro.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
You already know what it is. Come on. Yeah.
The hottest hits.
Hot 106.